Okay, before we pop up upstairs, let's sell and repair.
My harpy of a wife and a...
Dude is not a fan of his own wife. It's weird.
100 sharpened blades. Not a good combination. Good.
Also, since I really don't care, we're just doing it just to do it. We'll break these down.
Can you imagine the day they wed? It's beyond...
Repair all.
me.
Sweet. We finally hit over 2 million, chat. At least 2 million that I noticed. Tells you how often I use money in this game. Now, if one of the great houses would just sell me their place, then I'd have a stash house here. That'd be cool. Hold on one sec.
Citizen.
Students of magic, masters of spell.
Okay, sorry about that, chat. Let's get back to it. Let's go. I guess we're gonna talk to some random person at School of Arcana. Since the guy we were working with just, died. There was actually a guy at the school that gave us this mission because he had already gone to the mountain. So maybe it's that guy. Maybe we gotta talk to him.
Lunar gardens are enchanting.
I hate these people. Everyone's talking about the lunar gardens and how pretty they are and cool they are, and it's not an actual place you can go. It's somewhere here in Rader, supposedly, but you can't actually, walk in and see them. That would be cool. It'd also be a cool place to pick up some rare reagents or something for alchemy, if you actually did alchemy. But it's not a place you can go. It's kind of weird. Like I said, it'd be nice if there was.
Good day. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, looks like that same guy. So we'll talk to him.
There you are. Good, you're back. As much as I'm dying to know what transpired atop Sky Crown, that'll just need to wait until the Archsage is through with you. He requested you join him in his quarters, just around the corner down the hall.
Okay. Wouldn't you rather know about your dead friend? I
Good day.
would think so. But what do I know? Guess he doesn't care about his dead friend. Rip Beardy. I don't want to tell you. He looks dead. Smashed into a hole in the ground. Don't know how I feel about that. Regarding your letters, dearest Iwa, thank you for your concern. I'm well aware of the lack of learning in the newest members of our order. If nothing else, this should lend some credence to Rasp's concern, as it seems that more people are becoming attuned to magic, including those who have never had formal tutelage. Archsage Jubal Calidus. Cool. Okay, so when the one person was talking about magic being more powerful, maybe he was attuned. Maybe it's more powerful for mortals because it's waning for the Fae. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Maybe magic is getting granted to mortals and taken away from the Fae. I don't like that I can't loot these. It's not cool. I like this bridge, though. That's a pretty dope bridge. That's a lot of chests. I like loot. Can I have some? What is this? The Arathi Sigil Stone? That I happen to have? And I still can't open. What the heck? This sucks. Should have loot all these things. Nothing. Nada. That sucks. The book looks familiar, though. Okay, so we can't loot the chest in here. We can't loot the chest on the other side. No bueno. I want the loot. It's an addiction. It's an addiction, guys, but I have to have it. Okay, so we have alchemy, blacksmithing table, and a sage crafting table. That's kind of cool. these are pretty sweet digs. Archsage is doing pretty good for himself, if I don't say so myself. Oh, they're like little brownies. I hate brownies. Please don't tell me he uses them for target practice, because that would be cruel. But cool. Yeah, you can use it on any one of these stones. That's not what I was expecting. You can feed the brownies. It's like a cute petting zoo. You feed the brownies with chickens. Those poor chickens. Maybe he's napping. Sorcery. Intricate glyphs surround the body on the floor, seemingly drawn in the dead man's blood by his own hand. One empty space is visible within the complex pattern located just above the prone man's head. Place your hand in the empty space. Sure. Man, that was awful. Summon chickens.
There you are.
You must be the dead dude. Always look behind you guys.
At last. I had hoped you'd come sooner. The curse is strong. That you are here at all is a godsend. The creature that has stalked the minds of our savants. Nuala, Kadok, and Ethan. She is here. She has come for me, at last.
What curse?
The possession she used on the savants you encountered. I tried to fend her off. Though I stand before you, the sorceress has begun usurping other parts of my mind. I retained a part of myself, and made the glyph that took you here.
Okay, why ask me for help?
When we met in Talarain, I knew then that Savant Inga was right about you. Maybe too right. It is more than chance, Adept, that has brought you into contact with this sorceress before. And it's more than luck, I think, that you survived each encounter.
Who is she?
She is the one that has stalked the minds of our greatest mages. But there is a more troubling history than that. Once I have been freed, there will be plenty of time to discuss her true nature.
You're useless. How can we stop her?
I am not the Archsage without cause. I had prepared myself for this manner of attack. It is how I can speak with you now. She is assuming control of my uncontrolled thoughts. I cannot venture out of this sanctum, lest I fall to her. You must thwart her plans. Take this, the true history of our order. It is the only help I can give you now.
A book, dude? Really? That's it? What about you? I need to know a little bit about you if I'm gonna go traipsing through your mind.
As the Archsage, I've trained myself to withstand attacks to my mind. Her previous attempts were weak, not as immediate as this. She does not target my conscious self now. She instead moves to conquer my repressed flaws, my misguided thoughts, and she will exploit them In time,
Are they naughty? Can you tell me more about possessed savants?
I have been following what has happened to the savants that conducted your initiation. Those poor souls. If this dark sorceress is done with them, she must have learned all she could. She must be near her goal.
I guess. What can you tell me about the School of Arcana?
There is more to our history than books and scrolls, but we must solve matters here first. Then I will answer all you ask.
What can I expect from her?
The sorceress has taken over some parts of my mind. They will be strong, magnified aspects of myself. Be wary.
I wonder if this will actually take us back.
If you wish to return to my chambers in Rader, I will accommodate you. But do not wait too long to return. I need your help to defeat this curse.
I'll stay for now.
Good. If we are swift, we should be able to break this curse before my mind is completely hers.
They probably threw that in just in case you were too weak to do this area. Alright, we're gonna break those and break those. Guess this is what he gave us? Dark Imperium? That's a lot. I'm sure it's going to be important for this. Okay. Fall of the Dark Imperium. And so it came to pass in years of strife when the tyrant queen Sedanis had sown the fields of Erethel. Thigh deep with blood, 3 unlikely souls found the way out of the dark. The first was a man named Eladon Bloodgood, a Varani sharp shaper. He came to Erethel from far to the north, searching the world for the knowledge of stone. After refusing to build a temple in Sedan's name, he was cast into prison. The second was a gnome named Mars Torax, a gifted Nosicant? Sure. He had long ago left the society in comfort of his libraries to travel the world, to learn of things with his own eyes. For teaching a doctrine different from the unquestioning worship of Sedanis and her regime, he too was cast into prison. This third was born deep within the dungeons of Rader, a young Alfar girl named Eleanor Bree, who grew to maturity, blinded by the darkness that was her only home. On Eleanor Bree's ascendance to adulthood, deep within the dark of the Empyrean's prisons, the gifts of elemental magics came to her. In fury, the girl burned the dungeon to the ground. Guided by Masters Torax and Bloodgood, she learned to wield her gift, and together the three of them dared to fight against the tyrant queen. It just kind of lines up with what we've known so far. Word spread quickly of a new group of master mages and artisans who would teach any willing to learn. In time, others courageous enough to challenge the Empyrean's might came forward, and what had started with a resistance of 3 quickly became 10, then 100, then 1,000. Terrible battles of magic were waged. Thousands perished, entire cities were scored from the face of the world, and untold horrors were birthed as each side tried desperately to craft the means of their victory. The Empyreans sought the destruction of their enemies by any method. No sacrifice was too great, no atrocity too horrid. The darkest and the foulest of arts were pursued, and the cost to the populace was unrivaled by that of anyone's memory. But the light of the three refused to be extinguished. The strength of Master Bloodgood, his wisdom, and his skill set the form and foundation of their hope. The brilliance of Master Torax, his knowledge and his insight unlocked the chains of their bondage, and the passion of Mistress Bree, her spirit, her fury, lit the way to freedom. What none could do alone, these three achieved together. 7 years after earning their freedom, high upon the heights of the spire of Rader, they battled Sedanis, and the Dark Empyrean was imprisoned. Too powerful to be destroyed, she was contained beneath that would become the grounds of the School of Arcana, sealed away by the arcane glyphs and runes of our 3 founders. Here she will remain, and you, Archsage, are the only sentinel of her prison. For on this foundation was the order built, to reach the greatest extents of knowledge, lest the reign of the Dark Imperium returns again. Guard this wisdom and find a worthy successor. Different paths had led each into the chains of slavery, but it was there that each found strength from the other, and together found their freedom. And so it was that School Arcana came to be. Okay. So she's actually been here all along. No one's been able to take her down until I showed up. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's take her down. How's the light reading? Really? Let's try that again. That didn't work very well. Mantle key? Okay. The possession begins. Inspect. Ooh, so much reading. Does this actually matter? Yeah, it's about how she took over him. It has come. What Ephraim has warned me of, the fear that has plagued the mind of every archsage of our order has come to pass. She has awoken. She has found a way from her cell. I thought when such time came, it would prove to be a more marked event that we would notice as the harbinger of her freedom. And though I had reports of an initiate whose trial killed some savants and drove others to madness, she did not appear immediately. And that was her greatest triumph. For all that we knew of her, we expected her appearance to be marked by cataclysm and chaos. The raging storm has no need of subtlety and cleverness, for with a whim its winds can rip flesh from bones and burn all in its path. But she knew we would rid ourselves of such assaults, and connive to overwhelm the strongest of our orders from the shadows, and now there are two left, myself and the mind of the initiate who was present at her summoning. Even now I feel my mind beginning to falter. Ethan Engar must have fallen, and with him there is but one left whom I can support in earnest to assume the mantle of Archsage, but I cannot falter yet. I will summon the once was initiate here, and with aid wrest control of my mind free from the dark sorceress. To have my mind be walked upon is troubling. There are many things in here I wish no one to face or learn, for they are the things I had rid myself of long ago when I assumed leadership of School Arcana. But she is to be felled. I must be rid of her. Okay. Ooh, and shade. Oh, two. Okay. Enkindler? Enkindler? Enkindler. Burn enemies. What do we got? What do we got? We got some good, I hope. More keys. And another note. This is a bad way to start the day. Too much reading. He has passed. After but a few weeks upon attaining the level of savant, I was summoned to the chambers of the Archsage. Deep in the cavern beneath our chapter house, I found him on the floor, struggling for breath, but otherwise still. Helped to his senses, he reveals that he was dying, and though Baleen had reached out to take Ephraim, he had yet to draw him to death. It was then that he laid everything bare. No truth was omitted, no lie spoken. The true purpose of our order, the true meaning of our values and studies were after all my life made plainly understood. And with that he passed, pressing the band of cloth, the ring of the Archsage, into my hand. I was to take the reins, he said. For better or worse, it had to be me. Undo the possession, undo the possession. That one seems closer. Let's go that way. Why are there Ettins in your mind, dude? Dead ends, but ends nonetheless.